Well, hello. My name's Tim, and I'd like to read you a story. This is out of the book Great Fairy Tales of Ireland. The name of this story is The Phouka. The Phouka is a friendly being and often helps the farmer at his work if he's treated well and kindly. One day, a farmer's son was minding cattle in the field when something rushed past him like the wind. But he was not frightened, for he knew it was the Phouka on his way to the old mill by the moat, where the fairies met every night. So he called out, "Phouka, Phouka, show me what you are like, and I'll give you my big coat to keep you warm." Then a young bull came to him, lashing his tail like mad. But Patrick threw the coat over him, and in a moment he was quiet as a lamb, and told the boy to come to the mill that night when the moon was up, and he would have good luck. So Patrick went, but saw nothing except sacks of corn all lying about on the ground, for the men had fallen asleep, and no work was done. Then he lay down also and slept, for he was very tired. And when he woke up early in the morning, there was all the meal ground, though certainly the men had not done it, for they still slept. And this happened for 3 nights, after which Patrick determined to keep awake and watch. Now there was an old chest in the mill, and he crept into this to hide, and just looked through the keyhole to see what would happen. And exactly at midnight, 6 little fellows came in, each carrying a sack of corn upon his back. And after them came an old man in tattered rags of clothes, and he bade them turn the mill. And they turned, till all was ground. Then Patrick ran to tell his father, and the miller determined to watch the next night with his son, and both together saw the same thing happen. "Now," said the farmer, "I see it as the Phouka's work, and let him work if he pleases him. For the men are idle and lazy and only sleep. So I'll pack the whole set off tomorrow and leave the grinding of the corn to the excellent old Phouka." After this, the farmer grew so rich that there was no end to his money, for he had no men to pay, and all his corn was ground without spending a penny. Of course, the people wondered much over his riches, but he never told them about the Phouka, or their curiosity would have spoiled the luck. Now Patrick went often to the mill and hid in the chest that he might watch the fairies at work. But he had great pity for the poor old Phouka in his tattered clothes, who yet directed everything and had hard work, sometimes keeping the little Phoukas in order. So Patrick, out of love and gratitude, bought a fine suit of cloth and silk, and laid it one night on the floor of the mill, just where the old Phouka always stood to give his orders to the little men, and then he crept into the chest to watch. "How is this?" said the Phouka when he saw the clothes. "Are these for me? I shall be turned into a fine gentleman." And then he put them on, and then began to walk up and down, admiring himself. But suddenly he remembered the corn and went to grind as usual, then stopped and cried out, "No, no, 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 no more work for me. Fine gentlemen don't grind corn. I'll go out and see a little of the world and show off my fine clothes." And he kicked away the old rags into a corner and went out. No corn was ground that night, nor the next, nor the next. All the little Phoukas ran away, and not a sound was heard in the mill. Then Patrick grew very sorry for the loss of his old friend, and used to go out into the fields and call out, "Phouka, Phouka, come back to me. Let me see your face." But the old Phouka never came back, and all his life long Patrick never looked on the face of his friend again. However, the farmer had made so much money that he wanted no more help, and he sold the mill and reared up Patrick to be a great scholar and a gentleman who had his own house and land and servants. And in time, he married a beautiful lady, so beautiful that the people said she must be daughter to the king of the fairies. A strange thing happened at the wedding, for when they all stood up to drink the bride's health, Patrick saw beside him a golden cup filled with wine, and no one knew how the golden cup had come to his hand. But Patrick guessed it was the Phouka's gift, and he drank the wine without fear, and he's made his bride drink also. And ever after, their lives were happy and prosperous, and the golden cup was kept as a treasure in the family, and the descendants of Patrick have it in their possession to this very day. The end.